Welcome to HR with Heart. I'm your host, Jemima House, and today we're exploring the calm leader, how to stay grounded when everyone else isn't. A short reflection to help you feel good and do it better. So, 3 things. The first thing is you need to mark the closing of leaving your home environment and the opening of being in your work environment, whether you're a hybrid worker and you're going to be at home in your home office, or whether you're actually going to be in the office at work. You need to mark that transition with some kind of ritual, and that doesn't have to be complex. It could simply be preparing your cup of tea. It could be the way that you prepare to sit in your work chair. But this ritual is important because you need to inform your brain and your body that something has changed. We know that we are 3-dimensional beings. We are not just employees, and we're not 1-dimensional, as in we don't come into work completely fresh every time we come into work. We come in with the history of what's happened that day, that week, or even that year. So because we are fully functioning human beings, we need to acknowledge that we have other stuff going on outside of the work environment. This is why that ritual is super important. The second thing I want to mention is employing a deep noticing. Now, this is to do with your nervous system regulation and management. You will know when you go into a space with other people who are stressed out, their stress very quickly becomes your stress by osmosis. It's not really magic. That's how human beings are designed. We're designed to co-regulate. And that means that how other people are affects us. And it affects our systems, it affects how we breathe, it affects our emotions. And you're not crazy for thinking that being in the presence of stressed out people makes you more stressed. It does. So, this deep noticing is really a call for you to notice how your body and brain are functioning. Remember, the body and the brain are 2 parts of the same system. You cannot separate them. So when you notice how you're functioning and what's impacting you, it gives you more command over your experience. This is so important. You don't have to make anybody else wrong in order to do it. All you're doing is taking your power back to be at your optimum and to be able to function in the best possible way, because you've decided what is allowed to be in your experience at that present moment and what is not. So this deep noticing is important, and the way that you can do that is simply by being very, very still for a moment and deciding to take a few breaths, take a few moments to pay exquisite attention to your own internal experience. So, it might sound so basic and seriously just really, really silly even to think that noticing how you're breathing or noticing how you're feeling internally can have an impact on your output. Most of the most fundamental things do sound basic and a little bit silly sometimes. So, deep noticing, this is your second prompt. Third prompt is completing your stress cycle. So we all know what it feels like to go into a work setting of any description while still holding the stress and discomfort of something that's already happened in your day. Be it a difficult conversation with your partner, some childcare handover that did not go well, or just the trials and tribulations of living and being a human. So again, the deep noticing will give you the acknowledgement of that. Completing your stress cycle means that you allow your body to change state. So you're not subconsciously holding the stress of what's already gone before, but you allow that stress to have an outlet. Now, I always give this example, but it's because it's a really good one. If any of you have witnessed this in nature, it happens all the time with animals because they instinctively know how to complete their stress cycle. For instance, a deer who has been chased will be really, really stressed out, and when it reaches safety, it will shake. It will on purpose shake to rid itself of the hormones and chemicals within its body that are going to be dangerous if left there. So if you think about your stress hormones, if you think about cortisol and how that races around your body in preparation for fight or flight, that happens to us when we, for instance, have a difficult conversation and we have no need to run away or no need to physically fight. Those chemicals are there preparing us for that instance, should it arise. Now, what happens when they're allowed to stay in the body is they disrupt our clear thinking, our ability to reason, our ability to digest our food properly, to be in a relaxed state, and then we are the stressed out one and we are unconsciously impacting all those people we come into contact with throughout the day. So completing your stress cycle is a super important part of becoming the calm leader and staying grounded, especially when everybody else isn't. When other people are stressed out, it can really easily take our focus away and lead us to the bad place, where it's very, very difficult to stay focused, stay on track, and to stay compassionate as leaders and as humans. So what happens when we're not regulating our own nervous systems or putting our own oxygen mask on first, as they say on the plane, is that we become unresourced. So we are not able to then handle anybody else's stress because we're not handling our own. Okay, that was a lot in 10 minutes. I hope it's been helpful. And as always, please leave your comments and questions. I will get back to them personally. And there will be another episode, same time, next Monday. See you then.